Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Now, we've been remiss recently. We haven't done nearly enough Marty Sears puzzles, and they're stacking up. So we're going to have a look at this one today, which has come heavily recommended. It's called Color Coordinated Differences. It's such a simple idea. He really is a total constructing genius. The idea is that these arrows are sort of hint at coordinates. So if this was a 3 and this was a 5, that would be saying that row 3, column 5 is the difference between those two numbers. So this would be a 2. I think I've understood that correctly. I've only read the rules once before I turned on the webcam, but I think that's how it works. And then there's some funny rules for the different colour arrows. But look at some of the comments. I just found this on Logic Masters, and people are just going nuts about this. Razor says it's an absolutely beautiful puzzle, but that break-in is definitely 3 stars, not 2. Okay. Wow, this one was incredible. Franjo says it's a funny indexing rule set. Basically, everyone says it's simply brilliant, and I am very much looking forward to having a go at it. And we'll do that in a moment or two's time. I might even be seeing Marty again on Sunday, because Mark and I are going to the Stratford Upon Avon Literary Festival. I think Marty was intending to be there. So I'm hoping that we'll get to meet in real life again. And well, hopefully many of you, I will get to do that. So if you are going, we are looking forward to it. There are still a few tickets left. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. It's getting late in the day to be definitely able to go to Stratford Upon Avon on Sunday if you have not already had those plans. But yeah, we are very much looking forward to meeting some of you then. What else can I tell you about? Well, we're closing in, aren't we, on the 1st of November. It's only a couple of days away. We've got a brand new competition launching then. Lots of Sudokus. In a new Sudoku hunt that's our own creation. So do join us. It's a couple of bucks a month to join us on Patreon. We put lots and lots of extra content over there, so we try and make it worthwhile. And yeah, the competition will run until the 20th, and the prize, as it has been in recent months, is that we'll solve a puzzle together, and we'll record the process, and hopefully that will become a video that will appear on the channel. And I can tell you that Anna and I are going to try and record next Thursday. So hopefully there'll be a new video shortly thereafter. We shall see. We'll see how we get on. But I'm really looking forward to meeting Anna virtually and trying to record a puzzle together next week. What else can I tell you about? Let's do some birthdays, shall we? Hannes, you've turned 29 today. And I know this because your girlfriend, is it Caritas? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Over there in Iceland, wanted a shout out for you. So Hannes, thank you very much for watching the channel. I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. I can tell you that Caritas is baking you your grandmother's chocolate cake, which sounds fantastic. A family recipe for chocolate cake. I wonder how many absolutely splendid recipes there are in all the families around the world. There must be some incredible things that will just stay within family units. But I'm sure your grandmother's cake is going to be fantastic. I hope the icing is extremely heavily laden on that cake. And Hannes, many happy returns. Also, Laura. We're going over to Denmark to say happy birthday to Laura, who's turning 28 today. And this is from your dear friend, is it Jan? I think it's more likely to be Jan than Jan, being in Denmark. Jan wrote some lovely things about you, Laura. Said that you're smart, fun, and an amazing friend. And he hopes your day is as special and beautiful as you are. Isn't that lovely? So Laura, I hope you have a great day today. I hope you find some chocolate cake and it's incredibly well iced. Many, many happy returns. And they are the birthdays. So let's have a look at Colour Coordinated Differences by the great Marty Sears. The rules are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. The 2 digits on an arrow give the coordinates of a particular target cell somewhere in the grid. The digit on the arrow's shaft indicates the target cell's row, and the digit on the arrow head indicates the target cell's column. The difference between the 2 digits should be placed into the target cell. No 2 arrows target the same cell. So if, what did I say, row 3, column 5, if this was row 3, column 5, if that was a 2, then this one couldn't be row 3, column 5, because that would target the same cell. So from a Sudoku perspective, of course, these could be a 3-5 pair. That would be fine. These 3 5s don't see one another, but it's illegal because of the rules of the puzzle. Now, there's also, it says, a pink arrow contains 2 consecutive digits. Right, so if this was a 3, that could either be a 2 or a 4. And that would plonk a 1, row 3, column 4, row 3, column. That would plonk a 1 there. That's how pink arrows work. A green arrow contains 2 digits with a difference of at least 5. So the green arrows are like German whispers. So if this was a 1, this would have to be a 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now what would that mean? That would mean that row 1, column 9 would be an 8. The difference between those two. This is a weird rule. And there's one more arrow, which is on a black arrow. 1 digit is double the other. So these are like black dots. So how's that work? If this was a 4, this could either be 2, because 4 is double 2, or it could be 8, because 8 is double 4. And then we put 4 into, hang on, row 8, column 4. So that would be a 4, would be how that would work. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, how do you start this puzzle is the first question we've got to think through. It's actually a bit surprising there are no given digits in this, isn't it? It feels very strange. I think it's going to be the pink arrows. That would be my guess. But that could well be wrong. I don't really see how to get to grips with the green arrows at all. I mean, when we just did that example there, I mean, there's no guaranteeing this is a low digit, but I mean, you can't put 5 on a green dot. It's like a German whispers line. If you put 5 on it, the next digit has to be 5 away. So this would be, if we go up, we'd be at a digit like, well, a number like 10, which you can't put in Sudoku. And if you go down, you're at 0 or negative numbers, and they don't work in Sudoku either. So digits on green arrows are either below 5 or above 5. But I mean, if this was a 1, for example, what we're saying there is in row 1, but we don't know what this digit is, but it's a 6, 7, 8 or 9 to be sufficiently different from 1. So it's the coordinate being pinpointed is this cell, this cell, this cell, or this cell. And the digit that would be going into that cell would be, if this was a 6, it would be a 5, 6, 7, or 8. So there's just no restriction. I mean, because there's no guarantee this is a 1. It could be anything apart from 5. And if it was a 9, then we'd be saying in row 9, yeah, we'd be saying one of these digits is quite a high number, but that's just nonsense. Right, so I am now absolutely convinced the way that you get into this puzzle is not from the green dots. Why do I think it's going to be the pink dots? Well, the reason I think it's going to be the pink dots is that the difference between a pink dot, because these are consecutive digits, is always going to be 1, isn't it? So at least we know what we're putting in the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And none of these can be the same 5. So there's going to be a 5, there's going to be some 5s in the grid. No, there's going to be some 1s in the grid. And these 5 arrows are all pointing at a different one of those arrows. Now, I feel like the digit that's being restricted, where are they going to be? Let's just make this digit a 4. Let me just think this through. So this digit is now 3 or 5, and it's in row 4. So it would be either row 4, 3 or 5. And if that was a 5, it would be, yeah, okay. Yes, so that's very interesting. So actually, a pink arrow is always putting a 1 onto a sort of, yeah, it's a stripe that's going, I presume that one is on the stripe, but I think it's going to be on these diagonals. So I think, do I want to shade that, or shall I draw a line? I might draw a line, actually. Let's draw a line. So what I'm saying is, along that line, or this line, there will be 1s that are pinpointed by these cells. If this was a 7, this would be 6 or 8, so row 7. Yeah, so there would be a 1 in one of those, so that does work. Oh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. It's almost interesting, that, isn't it? Because you can't. What we're learning from sort of looking at this is that the 1 in box 3 and the 1 in box 7 is not relevant. The only boxes that could possibly be pinpointed are the other boxes. And there are only very specific cells. If it was a cell in boxes 2, 4, 6 or 8, an even numbered box, it would only, there would be no choice about which cell was pinpointed. Okay, well, that's good, but it's not got me enough. Okay, sorry, so the reason I'm just hesitating is I'm wondering whether I've missed something there. Because if I haven't missed something, I don't understand what to do with this. I think it's quite interesting, but I don't think it's got me there. And that implies that the black dots are somehow going to provide a way into this. But the black dots, we don't know what digit they're giving rise to, do we? Because a black dot in Sudoku is either a 1-2 pair, a 2-4 pair, a 3-6 pair, or a 4-8 pair. So those are all, and you can see that, yeah, I mean the difference here is 1, the difference here is 2, the difference there is 3, and the difference there is 4. So they're giving rise to 4 different types of digit. Yeah, okay, but I suppose, maybe the point is that they're only, yeah, okay, so the coordinates that those are giving rise to are restricted. Because you're either looking at, for example, if you look at the 2-4 pair, if you were to put 2 and 4 on one of these black arrows, it would either be 2 on the shaft and 4 on the tip, or the other way round. So it can only give, yeah, okay, so it can only be pinpointing either row 4 column 2 or row 2 column 4. Yeah, okay. So, yes, so the black arrows are only they're only pointing. We don't know what digit is going to go in to the cells that are being pointed at. Oh, no, actually we do. No, we do. Because the 2 and the 4, yeah, if you were to put a 2 and a 4 on a black arrow, it's either pointing at row 2, column 4, or row 4, column 2, and you do know that the digit that you put in there would be a 2, wouldn't that is sort of forced. So the row 3, column 6 is there, and row 6, column 3 is there, and they would have to be a 3 if one of those is used. And row 4, column 8, and row 8, column 4, they would have to be a 4. That's interesting. That is interesting. Because I can see that one's not going to be able to be a 4. Because of the green arrows. If that was a 4, what would you put into these green arrows? The problem there is the monogamous nature of 4 on a green relationship. 4 only has one partner, and that is the partner 9. It's the only Sudoku digit that's 5 away from 4. So you put 9 there, and that will break Sudoku. So that cell is not. So these black arrows are not 4 on the shaft and 8 on the tip, because that would put a 4 there, and that's illegal. Now, what about 1, 2 though? That's either row 1, column 2, or row 2, column 1. So one of those cells would be a 1. Okay, well that's brilliant. I now understand. That's taken a 1, 2, yeah, there are 6. Right. So that's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So the reason that that's beautiful, of course, is that what we've just learned is that if you do try and put this arrangement onto a black arrow, you could only do it once. You couldn't have a 1-2 pair here and a 2-1 pair here, because they both give rise to 1s in box 1. So you could only put one of them in this puzzle. Otherwise you put 2 1s into those cells. Now that means, because we've got rid of this one as a possibility, and only one of these is a possibility, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible arrangements. And therefore, given I've got 6 arrows, these are all absolutely, they have to be in the puzzle. They have to actually be given. And that is on a green dot, so that's an 8 or a 9. It's got to be 5 different at least. So, hang on, what's this doing? Row 3, column... Oh, it's really weird the way this works. So that we don't know. It's either putting a 5 there or a 6 there. It depends what that is. There's no way to pencil mark that. It's a lunacy. And I refuse to indulge in Marty's lunacies. So, okay, but what's going on here then? I don't know. Well, no, hang on. This is a problem, isn't it? Because the place that the 1 is ending up is on a black arrow. And therefore, yeah, so it's self-referential. Let me just think this through. So if that... Oh, actually, hang on. The 1 is always on the shaft of the arrow. So it's... Oh, this is beautiful again. So it's always the 1. It's always row 1, column 2 that is being indexed. Because if this was a 1, 2, it would be saying write 1 into here. And if this was a 1, 2, because the arrow goes the other way round, it's saying write 1 into here. So this is always 1, and that is never 1. And this must be a 1, 2. row 1, column 2 is the difference between them, which is a 1. There we go. So 2 is, let's get rid of this now because that was an aide memoir. We've got 2 down here, 2 over here. Oh, which is, well. But also, hang on. All of these black arrows have to, yeah, they all have to. So this one is done. Actually, I'm going to make that a different colour then. That one is done because it indexed itself. That one, well, that one is a 3-6 arrow because it hasn't got 2 or 4 on it. So and it's a black dot relationship, so it is a 3-6, and we know the order. So it's got to be that order by Sudoku. But that's actually row 6, column 3, isn't it? Which is that one. So that one's fine. That one's now been addressed. So this one can't be a 3-6 arrow because this can't be 3 or 6. That one can't be. Yes, yeah, there you go. So there's got to be another arrow here that is giving rise to this cell. So there needs to be an arrow, and it's going to be row 3, column 6. Well, it can't be this one. This one's got a 4 on it, so it can't be this one. This one's got a 2 on it, so it can't be this one. So it's this one, and it must be row 3, column 6. And now this one's done. Now, does this have to be a 4? I think so. It can't be a 1 because it would be indicating the same cell as this one. So it must be a 4 to have a black dot relationship. And that's saying row 4, column 2, which is this one, is a 2. So that one's finished. Now, so one of these is row 2, column 4. That could be this one or this one. And one of these is row 8, column 4. That's good. Right. So they're both these two, which are the ones we haven't yet indexed into, are both in column 4. So the digit on both arrow tips needs to be 4. And the digit in these cells are therefore 2s and 8s. And Sudoku, because this is row 2, this is row 8. And Sudoku doesn't help us there, or does? Let me just check that. I don't know. I can't see how to do that. I'm just going to do some more Sudoku. There is a smattering, a sprinkling of Sudoku available, isn't there? Oh. Hang on now. I need to look at something. I need to look at these red lines, but I'm just going to let me just mull this over for a moment. Well, I wanted to just look at Sudoku. I'm just going to do Sudoku for a moment first. And no, 2, no, 4, no, okay. Sudoku is not helping me. No, what I was thinking is that these red lines we know that this one is not one of the ones that is targeted by these pink cells, because that's already been targeted by itself. So the possible positions, we've got to find 5 ones, and we're now not looking at this box, we're not looking at this box, we're not looking at this box. So there's only 1 degree of freedom. There's only one of the remaining boxes that isn't. Oh, this is great. No, this is classic Marty. It's so beautiful. Right. Okay, let me try and explain. So the red lines, you can see they flow through. If we count how many possible boxes, there could be a 1 here, there could be a 1 here, there could be a 1 in one, oh, well, not there, one of those 3 in box 5, that's possible, here, here, or one of these in box 9. Now that's 6 different boxes, but we know we've got 5 different ones that are referenced by these pink cells. But I want to look at this one. If that was a 1, well, that can't be right, because this would be a 2, and row 1, column 2 has already been indexed. So this is not a 1 that is indexed by any of these pink arrows. So, but that not being a 1 removes the possibility of the 1 in the puzzle, of there being a 1 in this position and it being indexed by another arrow. This simply cannot be a 1. So now the only 5, well, there must be a 1 in these 3. There must. And there must be a 1 in one of those 3. And there must be a 1, well, I was going to say in one of those 4, but not there, because I've just put a 1 in here. And in fact, I've put a 1 in here, and I've put a 1 here. So this is a 1. And these ones, I'm going to give them a colour. These ones are all indexed by a pink line. And there's a 1 down here that's also indexed by one of these pink arrows. So, okay, so we need another aide memoir now, don't we? Which is going to be a bit troubling, but I'm going to try and do it up here, I think. So row 3, column 4. Row 4, column 3, which is harder to sort of, because the 3, I need the 3 and the 4. In fact, maybe I'll do them all that way. Row 3, column 4. So well, that arrow is not row 3, column 4, or row 4, column 3 by Sudoku, is it? That is not row, that hasn't got a 3 in it either. This one, that could have a 3 on it, actually. Oh, in fact, no, hang on, I am going to come back to this. I'm going to make those, just to remind me these are an aide memoir, but I've just noticed something else. Because that's become a 1, you can't put 3 on its green arrow. That won't work. Because, obviously, 1 and 3 are not 5 apart, so that's a 3. So, okay, so that is going to be one of these. Oh. Well, no, hang on. That row 3, column 2 is not a valid arrow. I mean, it could have been. It is on the red line, but it's not got a 1 in it because the 1's there. So this is row 3, column 4. And that takes this one away. That has now been achieved. So row 3, column 4, which is this one, is done. That has been achieved. Okay. Well, there's probably an absolute multitude of Sudoku that we can do now. But I think what I've got to do is go back to thinking about these. So row 4, column 3, this one hasn't been done. This is row 6, column 5. So row 6, column 5. That's that one. This one is row 7, column 6. Row 7, column 6. But I don't know, there's one down here and I don't know what it is. It's either row 8 or row 9, so it's sort of row 8 or 9. And it's column 7, 8 or 9. Which, so this one's particularly unpleasant, isn't it, to try and work through. But, okay, this one is not row 4, column 3, because this would be a 3. So that's out. That's not row 4, column 3. That's not row 4, column 3. So row 4, column... Oh, no, I don't want it to be this one. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. This is row 4, column 3, and it's going to take away my 7-6 pencil mark. Okay, but I could switch that there, couldn't I? That's what I'm going to do. So this one is row 7, column 6. That one's been achieved. And this is row 4, column 3. It's the only one that can be. So this one's now achieved. We've just got to be a bit diligent, I think, about how we do this. Now, what does all that mean? Oh, hang on. No, that is correct. Yeah, I think that is correct. Okay, so I've got row 6. See, this one can't have a 6 on it. So doesn't that take out both of these? Which would mean that this one is indexing one of those. Right, so the digits on this... So doesn't this have to have an 8 on it? Isn't that the point? Or here, okay, here is an okay. That is true, but this is I've spotted another way of thinking this through, and it's really quite beautiful. It's to do with parity. Okay, so what we know about a pink arrow is it's a consecutive pair of digits, so it's going to contain an odd and an even number. That's the nature of consecutive digits. Now, this, the even digit on it is not 6 or 4, so it is 2 or 8. Now, could it be 2? No, because a 2 is going to index a row 2 or column 2 digit in here. Row 2, column 3, row 2, column 1. That's not going to work. So there must be. So the even digit on here must be 8. This is now a 2, which means this is an 8, because remember these were doing different thingies. So row 8, column 4. So that's indexed itself, actually, which is fine. I mean, there's no reason it can't do that. And this one is row 2, column 4, which is that one. So all of those are now completely and utterly legitimately finished. And this has got 8 on it for definite. So it's from 8, 7 and 9. So okay, I'm sure there's a way that we're meant to know what that means, but I haven't immediately understood that. 2 is almost placed by Sudoku in the middle box. No, it must be. So which pink arrows have we got left? Ah, there's 6 on both of the remaining pink arrows. They both have 6 on them. So this must be a 6 by Sudoku. And that, therefore, is column 6, which is this one, isn't it? Oh, no, it's this one. That's in column 6. That's column 5. Yeah, okay. So, oh gosh, you have to be very careful with this. So I think this is row 7, column 6. And that's indexed this one. So that can turn orange. And that's this one now removed. And row 6, column 5 must be this one. So this is a 6, that's a 5. I'm just staring at that just to check that it looks right. I mean, I think it feels logical, doesn't it? So that's that one finished. And we've just got this one to do. But I think I can remember that this one is doing something down there. So I think we're basically there on 1s now. And in fact, we can probably do away with our red lines. They have definitely served a purpose. And I fear we're going to be left with... Oh, there's an 8 in one of those. We're going to be left with a lot of Sudoku, so that's an 8. Or it could be... Oh, is that definitely a 3 on here? Why have I got a 3 pencil mark there? That is true. Right. Oh, in fact, I know where it goes. Oh my goodness. Right. So that is a 3. And that must be a 9 next to it because it can't be 8. So this is row 3, column 9, which is that cell, is a 6. It's a bit terrifying when you put that in because I'm sort of worried that that's going to cause a clash. But okay, but now that one, remember, that could have been row 3, column 9, so that's now got to be row 3, column 8, otherwise it would be doing the same cell. So that is a 5, this is a 2 by Sudoku, so 2 is in one of these 3 cells. 9, being here, comes off this arrow. So we're looking either at row 7, no, we can't be looking at row 7. There can't be a 1 here, so it must be row 8, column 7, which is putting a 1 here. Row 8, column 7. These 2 digits include a 1 and a 4. And actually I know the order, don't I? So that's 4, that's 1. Row 1, column 9 is now an 8 by the weird rule. That's an 8. These digits are 1, 7, 9. So that's a naked single. It sees 7 and 9. So this is a 7-9 pair, and this digit ought to be available to us. If we could do our Sudoku, that's a 3, and probably, oh dear, and oh no, it's not, oh, thank goodness for that. I thought I made a terrible error, but my scanning was terrible. It's a 5. Now, what do we need in this row? We need to put 5 in, and 9. Right, so these digits are 4, 7, and 8. Okay, I don't quite know the order, but we know that's not 8, and in this row we haven't put 9, so we better put that in. So that places 9 and 2 in the middle box. These squares are 5 and 7, which is also resolved. This is going remarkably smoothly, which is a bit disconcerting. 6 and 7 into these cells. It's going to be so popular, this puzzle, though, assuming I can finish it, because it's just gorgeous. Now, row 1, column 6 would be a 5. Row 1. Oh, that's correct. And row 1, column 7. Oh, that's not correct. Row 1, column 7 would be a 6 if this was a 7. So that's got to be a 6. Therefore, this is a 7. This is an 8. These are a 4, 7 pair. These are a 5, 9 pair, which apparently is not resolved. This column looks quite amenable, doesn't it, to Sudoku, of all things? That's got to be a 7. Okay, so row 7, column 1. Row 7, column 1 is a 6. I mean, it's great that that's not causing any problems. 1 in column 1 is there, apparently. Now that displaced a pencil mark for a 4, but not into a useful place. So this is 5 or 9. I've still got this arrow and this arrow to go, so hopefully we're not going to completely come unstuck here. Now what about the bottom of this column? These cells are 2 and 6. And what I do know is that I can't put 2 on the green line next to a 1. So this is row 6, column 1. And row 6, column 1 is a 5, and that's lovely. So that's a 9. Okay, it's still not, hasn't quite cracked it open. These 2 squares are 5 and 9. I mean, again, the Sudoku seems to be working. Okay, let's have a look at this column. We haven't put 8 in, so this is 2, 6. Ah, that's a naked single. C6 and 8. So that's got to be 2, which makes that 6 and that 8, according to the column. Now, does that do other magic things? Yes, it gives me a 2 here. One of these is an 8, and it's this one. Now, assuming we've done our Sudoku correctly, therefore, this is a 4 or a 7. And this row needs 5 and 3. So this is a 5. This is a 3. This is a 7 or a 9. Well, let's work this out then. So row 7, column 2, which is that one, row 7, column 2 would be a 5. That looks plausible to me. Or row 9, column 2. Row 9, column 2 would be a 7. Right, that's weird. Because what that means is I think this is always a 5. That's really interesting. Again, it's the sort of panache that Marty imbues his puzzles with. But if this is if this is 7, it's simply saying this is a 5 because that's how the coordinate thing works. But if this is a 9, then that's a 5, and that's still a 5 by Sudoku. So that's always a 5, although I don't know what this is. But maybe I know as a result of the Sudoku that's going to... Yeah, so now this becomes 7. Ah, okay. And now that does become... So it actually is row 9, column 2, which is that one. That is a 7 now. So that's a 7, that's a 4, that's a 4. And I see it unwinds a deadly pattern that would otherwise exist, and that's a 3, and the puzzle's finished. That's absolutely out of nowhere, is it? Yes. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It really is. That is such an elegant idea. And the weird thing, I mean, how clever do you have to be to think this through and realise that black dots are only specific cells are getting indexed, and then there's only a certain set of digits that can go into them. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.